Not out here showing 100 Anubis tips and tricks. At the time I made this video, there were 3 officials played on this map from pro teams. The majority of the video comes from these games, and the rest comes from my Discord, who shared the tricks and tips with me. You can join my Discord by using the link below in the description. Special thanks to Sponge, who you might have seen some of the tricks featured in this video on his Twitter, which he also came out with a callout map that I'm going to link below. And of course, I had to show this off. YEKINDAR before playing the Blast Showdown match on Anubis, watching my Anubis nade guide. Huge shout out to YEKINDAR. Without further ado, let's begin. TN1R is going to throw an instant mid house smoke. I covered all the spawns in a separate video. Make sure to check it below in the description. He's going to smoke beacon, standing in this corner of the door, aims top of this tooth, then jump throw. You want to smoke dark if you don't have an opper going towards that position from T stairs to hold it early on. By smoking it off, CT oppers won't be able to peek down canals. Exit smokes dark by standing in this doorway, aims at this wood, then jump throw. Please like, comment, and subscribe to help the YouTube algo. Bowden throws a dark one-way smoke which requires a sniper scope. You could throw this smoke 4 out of 5 spawns. I made a separate video on these smokes which I'll link below. The smoke's gonna get clipped onto the wall, leaving the one-way for the T's canals. MOTM is able to scale up water in canals without having to worry about the CT peeking, because if the CTs do peek, he gets the early advantage onto them by seeing their legs. Soulfly from outside rug is going to smoke dark. He ducks at the table, aims at the dot on the wall, stands up, press run throw bind, and the smoke lands all the way inside dark on the top of the stairs, and you're not going to be able to boost to see over the smoke. Monum is going to molly house from the ruin side, left side top mid by going top stairs, aims at this part of leaf, run forward and left click throw. You could throw a molly towards the double doors at the start of the round, and this molly prevents the CTs from pushing through unless they want to take damage. You can see the importance of this molly as Fuzi tries to push through double doors to peek bridge, however he gets stopped by it. If the CTs are throwing a bridge smoke at the start of the round, you can throw a molly off this wall towards the window area to prevent the peek towards canals. If the CTs throw a bridge smoke at the start of the round, what you could do is you could spray the smoke to punish the CTs if they decide to go for the window peek. Here we see in a different round where the CT smoke bridge and then the T spams smoke and gets a frag from it. Here's the last clip I'm going to show of the T spraying the bridge smoke, which TN1R gets the kill onto Skunk mid-house. I'm going to show you Songul's mid-control nades into a split. So Soulfly is going to smoke house standing in between those faces, aims here and then left click throw. If you want to see the full tactic, make sure to join my Discord. Fuzi's going to throw 2 flashes for bridge. He positions onto that line. For the first flash he's standing, aims as shown, left click throw. This blinds any CTs holding bridge. The second flash in the same position, aims here, jump throw. This flash is for his teammates to scale up. It's for anyone holding from the door side that's peeking. Skrunk's gonna molly door and flash door. He is going to stand at that line there. For the molly, aim right there and jump throw. For the flash, aim here, jump throw. This flash will come after Fuzi's flash to allow his teammates to scale up. And then here's the molly for the door. Afterwards, Skrunk is going to throw a split utility. It's a different position. He's going to position at that block there while standing. For the temple mid-smoke, aim above this arrow, then jump throw. For the magic molly towards camera, aim at the left gap here, then jump throw. The molly lands inside the doorway of camera, and then the smoke blocks off the mid-temple area. To top off the nade set, Skrunk is going to flash his teammates out the door by aiming here, run forward, and jump throw. This flash lands above the roof and it's going to blind the CT mid. TN1R tries to go towards camera, however he gets flash and then he's out of position, he gets owned. Nikki throws an alternate house smoke by positioning as shown while standing, aims here, then jump throw. What's different about this house smoke is that it lands deeper, allowing your teammates to take the left side of house here, and then you can fade the smoke. 500 paired up with the door molly when throwing the smoke, stand behind the box, aim at the top of the window, then left click throw. Having house and or double door control as T's is going to be super strong for your lurker, as you can cut off rotations, and since you're so close to mid, you can easily lurk into camera to A. It is similar in a way of how Ancient House works for lurkers. It's not exactly the same, but it's the same concept, I would say. Ships is lurking towards doors towards mid, and he's able to cut off both rotations here as his teammates take A. One counter to the CT's bridge smoke at the start of the round is by boosting on top of this box to see over the smoke, which MIBR do here. You can still do the bridge mid boost despite the CTs not throwing a smoke. So MIBR do it here, and it's going to give you this off angle peek that Bowden's not expecting, and he tries to flick but misses. Depending on where the CT's bridge smoke lands, you could use the box to jump over the smoke to get some information, which Skunk does here. You don't have to smoke dark if your opper goes and holds it, which Henny does, and he gets the opening frag. If you don't have an op or scout on T side to post up on dark, then I do recommend smoking it off, because CTs, even on their eco or force buys, could potentially have a scout, or if they saved an op from the round prior for say, can go for this peek and punish you for not doing so. If the CTs do throw the instant T-stairs smoke, what you could do is you could boost on top of the stairs to see over the smoke towards the water area. It's not exactly bread and butter when you're the T going downstairs to hold for the dark peek, because you have to worry about window as well. Which then at that point you're holding window, there could be a chance that the CT peeks from dark to hold you, which you would lose that fight. You can simply take dark with one molly, as we see here. The molly will cover this close-up position as well, forcing the CT to come out. Box is going to hold this off angle right below these stairs for dark, and he's able to get 2 frags with it. Let's take a look at how the CT sees this position. To molly heaven from T stairs, tuck yourself in this corner, aim here, and then walk, and while you're walking, press W and D until before you hit the wall, then jump throw. This magic molly lands all the way towards heaven, and the CTs in heaven can't peek A at all. Patrick throws 2 A smokes. He's going to stand in the back corner of the water here below the stairs. For the first smoke's a heaven smoke, where he's going to press the run throw by and aim at this corner of the box. Afterwards, he smokes off hell by aiming here at the bottom of the line, then jump throw. They pair these 2 smokes with a sight molly, which Rainwalker is going to throw, which I'm going to show how he does so by standing here at this part of Tetris, aiming here, then jump throw. You're going to want a molly sight because that's going to be the most played position from A anchors. Swisher is going to smoke out camera as well as throwing a molly by standing in this corner here. And for the smoke, he aims at this part of the wood pallet, jump throw. He will follow it up with the molly, aiming higher, then left and right click jump throw. This combo locks out the CTs from rotating in through camera unless they want to either run through the molly taking damage, or if they have a smoke to put out the molly. I broke down this A tactic from ATK in a separate video, which I'm going to link below. Bowden smokes heaven, molly's catwalk, and flashes sight. The position to throw this is in the water in this corner of the walls, and for the smoke he ducks, aims at this part of the box, then run throw bind, which I'll link it below in the description. For the molly, backs up to the wall, standing, aims as shown, jump throw. Lastly, for the flash, puts his crosshair here, left click throw. He then advances into sight and plants. The safest plant position is to the right of the pillar towards the platform fountain side. Turtle smokes heaven from behind the boat, aiming at this part of the wall, then jump throw. Fuzi with A execute nades standing next to the boat. He is going to throw a smoke that lands towards CT with a jump throw. He's going to molly the hell area, and then he's going to throw a flash for sight. One molly you could use after taking the A site and clearing it is to throw this molly, which Fady throws here, that goes towards CT, delaying rotations. Speed 4K is going to throw an A main smoke coming out of spawn. The smoke is going to land towards the CT side. However, with this smoke, the CTs can beat it, just to let you know. That's why you'll see him throw a flash to go through the CT's main smoke, however it doesn't work out. It is a sensitive smoke as he did miss it in the previous round. QB at the start of the round from Rug is going to throw a molly that bounces off the skybox and it lands towards A main, preventing the CT from pushing through A main and or holding the door angle. QB is going to pair up the A main molly with the A main smoke. You're going to stand at that part of the wall, aim above this box, then jump throw. Afterwards, you advance up Rug, and you're going to throw the same molly off the skybox. The idea of this utility is to take main control and to not allow the CTs to try to push through. Team Webster's has a flash for A main entrance. You're going to align as shown, then put your crosshair here, jump throw. This flashes any CTs holding the entrance. Throw these fountain flashes when taking A, as they won't blind you because they land behind the pillar and they're only going to blind the CTs. Besides flashing fountain as you entry, before if you want you could also clear it by throwing a molly that bounces off this wall. That's going to force the CT out of position due to the mist smoke. MIBR are inside A main and they don't have any utility to deal with sight or A main. So Yota is going to get run boosted to hopefully get traded out by the rifle they picked up. Bowden's in a 1v5 and he's going to get hunted down. Before doing so, he throws away his gun over this fence inside A main. On Anubis, there's a lot of positions you could dispose of your weapon. Swisher throws a left B side smoke on the fly, then he gets smoked out B main, and then he's going to stand in his back corner where he mollies plat with this walk forward left click throw. When you're mollying B from outside B main, you gotta be careful as there's a clipping here that prevents the right pathing, and I'm sure you've seen it all. So as you see, this molly prevents the T's from getting through. If the CT smoke B main, what you could do is you can get on this platform and you could boost over top of the smoke to try to look over it. If you're attacking B and you have players B main, you do want to take advantage of the openings here by flashing, as we see Yota do here, and that blinds the defense player. TN1R is going to smoke B temple. He is going to stand in between these walls, and then he's going to use the finger on the right hand and puts it to the right of that line there, and then jump throw. An easier way to smoke temple from the same position is you're just going to aim right here at this leaflet, then left click throw while standing. This smoke does not leave any gaps. Another way to smoke temple is you jump on this ledge, get stuck into the corner, you're going to aim here while standing, then left and right click jump throw. Speed smokes lane by positioning with this green dot on the ground while standing. I think he uses his finger for the line where he aims below this tooth. Otherwise, I think he does the huge lines, then jump throw. If you have an easier lane smoke that lands up close like this, covering both sides, please share it with me in Discord. Patrick is going to smoke lane from B main from on top of this platform, standing at this part of the wall. While standing, aim at this tooth, then left click throw. With this variation of the smoke, it does land deeper, so you need to be aware that the CTs can play behind the left wall at lane there. From the same position, you could also smoke temple. Go ahead and position with this line here, and then you're going to aim between the first and second tooth at the top of this line while standing left click throw. This smoke does block off temple and it leaves no gaps. So you can have one teammate throw both smokes, the lane smoke and the temple smoke, from that same position. Corey is going to run boost Skrunk across B main, and Skrunk from up top is going to spot an opper. Corey shouldn't have peeked. You can see the opper inside temples holding a very tight angle, so he's not able to hit this flick on the person that's run boosted. Skrunk is going to throw an instant bridge smoke at the start of the round, and I made a separate video on how to throw all these smokes from all these different spawns. Check the link below in the description. Here's a bridge magic molly from spawn. You're going to stand in this corner, and you see this dot on the vine here, where you're just going to aim below the dot with your crosshair, then jump throw. This molly does land before the T's can get onto the bridge. In my previous trick video, I showed how to molly T stairs from spawn. However, it's very inconsistent. Here's a more consistent one. You're going to stand in the back corner, aim here, then run forward till you reach the top of the second step and jump throw. The T's will have three options with this molly. They take damage running through, smoke it out, or they wait. Corey's going to smoke A main off from CT spawn, stand next to that brick, aims at the corner of that leaf, then run throw bind. So about this smoke is that it can leave you a one-way, which we're going to see in a later round, which they throw the same smoke and QB comes out with the smoke towards the right. He jumps on top of the box to see over the smoke. However, he's not going to be able to get the kill here. You'll see from the T's perspective that he wasn't expecting this and he reacted to the shot, but you can see a little bit of his head. And this smoke does land before the T's can get to main. Fady throws an instant T-stair smoke. I covered a full video on how to throw this. Although the smoke lands before the T's get to the stairs, the T's can still push through the smoke despite CTs getting there to contest. MOTM goes through mid to A, where he's going to throw a molly that lands in front of the smoke. Position as shown, aims a little bit to the top left of this line, jump throw. The molly is intended to prevent the T's from pushing through the smoke, but the T's can already push past the smoke before the molly's thrown. Here's another way to molly stairs from A. You're going to get in the ledge, aim here, then run forward and jump throw. You're going to flash out the window afterwards by ducking, then crouch walking forward and right click jump throw. Paired up with the T stair smoke from spawn. Although the smoke lands before the T's can get down the stairs, you're going to see that the CTs are nowhere close to contest them and punish them for pushing the smoke. You can nade T stairs at the start of the round by hopping onto this ledge, aim bottom right of this line, then run forward and jump throw. This is going to own the T's as they come down the stairs. If you don't choose to throw the instant bridge smoke from CT spawn at the start of the round, while in mid you can just throw it off the right wall. The bridge smoke can put a lot of pressure onto the T's because CTs can come out into bridge and they can peek towards this window side towards the water canals area. Since the T's can get down the stairs faster than the CTs can get to dark and or window, as an opper on the CT side, if you are trying to peek towards the canals area, you'll want to throw a flash if the T's have an op. In that case, you'll have the advantage as the T opper is blind. Depending on where and how you throw the bridge smoke when you're towards mid, you can have a one-way to peek towards window, which Fady does here. However, he gets spammed on the opposite side of the smoke. Like I said earlier at the beginning of the video, when CTs throw the bridge smoke, you do want to spam it. If you're going to smoke bridge coming outside of mid, depending on how you throw it off the wall, you could potentially have a really nice one-way to peek from window, which Fuzi does here after flashing bridge to push. And you can see he has this nice little gap to peek towards the bridge area, gets a couple shots off before falling back. And as you can see, it's really hard to spot anybody towards bridge peeking down from window. Scrunk has a window canals flash. He's going to stand behind this wall, aims below the stair with a dent without moving his mouse, gets towards the shadow, runs forward and jump throw. This flash will blind the opper holding dark. You can flash window on your own before peeking window. Just release the flash as you're at the top of the stairs. Just make sure you have a deep bridge smoke before doing this. I showed earlier that you can flash over this wall to flash mid for the T's. For the CTs, you can flash over this wall to blind towards bridge. If you're house, you could support your teammates by throwing nades here off the wall, and that's going to land towards dark. Here I throw a molly off this wall and it lands front dark. Burzen's in charge of watching B main, and he plays defensively behind pillar with this jump spot. Depending on the T's playstyle, if they come in really fast like pop or they contact in, then he's not going to have time to throw the smoke at the door. He'll have to throw a defensive smoke towards site. In a different round, Burzen is playing a defensive angle by jiggle peeking from lane. Once he makes contact, he smokes off the doorway. Here's a round where we're going to see a defensive smoke used by Box as the T's come through main. His mate dies, so he's going to throw a smoke towards his left, and that forces the T's to either come through or go around or wait it out, which reminds me of B site overpass by the barrel. You're definitely going to be seeing this smoke used a lot in pro play. Get used to seeing it as it's so strong as how the overpass B site smoke is super strong. Besides jiggle peeking or jump spotting B main, you could also jiggle peek from outside dark, which we saw Box do here. His teammates will cover towards main. They have one towards fence, and then they have a player towards this pillar. The most common CT setups I've seen so far in the 3 officials is having 1A, 1 mid, and 3B, or 1A, 2 mid, and 2B. The only times when I've seen there's multiple players A is when they have a play for pushing out A main. Here's a CT setup you could run on the B site with 3 players, 1 jump spotting behind site, 1 up close fence, and then the opper watching dark. MIBR smoke left B site and ATK are going to use this boost behind the pillar to see over the smoke. However, Fady isn't going to find anybody. Koi on the back of B site gets on top of this stone here, and it's going to use it as an off angle, but he's not going to see anybody in this clip here. I'm not too sure how good of this angle is, seeing that he is pretty visible. You could also boost on the back of the stone back B site behind the pillar, which MDS gets boosted. However, he falls off the first time. When he gets back on, he kills Scrunk with the boost. It would have been a cleaner frag had they been boosted in the first place. If you want to smoke off B main from this back corner on plat, just aim at the tip here and then walk forward and left click throw. It's going to land front main off the wall here, and it's not going to leave any gaps. Depending on how that smoke lands, as a CT playing inside dark, you could jump off the stairs to see over the smoke to get info. You could also try to boost inside dark to see over the dark smoke from the T's to see towards canals. However, Burzen's not going to see anything here. As a T, if you're scaling up canals towards dark and you do throw the smoke, just watch out for the boost, which he does here. One play you can make if the T's are throwing the dark smoke is to flash through it and push through it, which we see the CT do here and kills the blind T inside water. Box, the T that got killed was playing anti-flash early on, and he peeks unfortunately at the wrong second and gets blind and then fragged. MDS is going to flash the position outside of dark where the T's may be in canals for his teammates to peek. MDS stands inside the corner there at fence, aims above this doorway, and then runs forward and left click throw. His teammate Box is inside dark and he's going to peek off this flash, which blinds the T, setting him up for the frag. A possible position you could play with the Zeus is dark, which Turtle does here, getting a frag onto Modem. Bowden coming out of spawn is going to get run boosted to try to get to dark early on so he can go for this opening pick with his op. I might be our don't smoke off dark, and he's going to peek into canals and gets an opening prag. This time around, before Bowden peeks canals, he throws a flash to blind the T opper if there was one. So this is a really strong angle from Bowden that he's able to see nobody coming down T stairs, but just keep it in the back of your mind that the T's can go rug and pass the area where Bowden can spot. SoFly smokes canals from B, he positions on this part of the shadow, aims here, then when he jumps he presses S at the same time, so the smoke's going to block off the canals, allowing your dark player to get up to this left cubby here. You could throw the same canal smoke from spawn, you will stand in this corner, and then you're going to aim to the left of this curve, and then run throw bind. If you want to see how to use this smoke, Wraith does a really good job explaining it, which I'm going to link the video below in the description. Box throws a canals one-way smoke, and he's going to aim here in left click throw, except he's supposed to be next to the doorway. Instead he backs up, which leaves a huge gap here towards the left, as you can see the opper is able to spot him. So I'm going to show you what this smoke is supposed to look like. Had Box stood next to this wall here to the left of their doorway instead of backing up a bit and aims in the same position he did in left click throw while standing, you're going to see the smoke lands more towards the water, and you have a gap here towards the left here to peek down canals, and from the T's perspective on their side, they might not notice that there's a gap here towards the right. Henny is going to hold a very aggressive angle here at B. First he runs in anti-flash, and then he goes towards this fence area, and then he holds this very tight angle, and it's a very aggressive angle, so when the T's come in, he's gonna have to rely on the shots here, which you'll see he hits 2 insane shots. When playing this angle, you will want to have a teammate watching dark, because look how exposed he is. Switcher throws a B main flash from lane at the start of the round for his teammate. You're going to stand in the middle of the stairs, aim here, and then walk forward and jump throw. Here's a B retake smoke from spawn. You're going to stand in this corner, and then you're going to put your crosshair where these two walls meet, then jump throw. This smoke will block off B main and makes it easier for you to retake. For the A anchor at the start of the round, you can throw this molly if you bounce it off the wall, and that's going to land front A main, denying the T's as well as slowing them A main access. After your molly, this is optional, you can throw a smoke at the front doorway. Careful in doing this because sometimes you will want to keep your smoke as you're anchoring A for a defensive smoke. QB throws a similar molly as he's coming towards A main, just throw it off the wall, it's going to land towards the A main entrance, delaying the A main take from the T's. Fuzi is inside Hell and he's above these stairs where he's going to flash outside A main by aiming here while standing left click throw. The flash lands above the doorway, allowing his teammate to peek outside main. Nikki is going to flash boat for his teammate to peek outside A main. He will do that by jumping on top of sight, aiming all the way at the archer, then walk forward and left click throw. His teammate pushes A main to peek after his molly ends, and you're going to see the flash get speed here. MOTM is going to throw a one-way smoke inside heaven. After hitting this one deke, he backs up in the corner, aims here, then right click throw. Afterwards, he's going to have a gap towards the left side where he peeks towards main. However, he's not going to get a kill and then falls back. Here's what the one-way smoke looks like from the T's perspective as they entry into A from aim. You can see you could hardly spot anybody there. Here's a cool boost you could use in heaven. You could see through this gap here and the CTs won't expect it. MIBR retaking a site and they throw utility off the roof that's going to bounce towards site. They don't know the correct lineup yet, but I just want to show you that you can do this. Scrunk gets smoked out heaven and he supports his teammate by throwing a flash off this wall. The flash will blind the T's coming into A from main. If you're in heaven, you could spam through the bottom of the stone / ground and you're going to be able to wall bang it. And if any T's are playing in this corner here, maybe for post plant, you can spam them. It's very situational. As you can see, if you're not smoked off, you're standing out in the open. This wall here is wall bangable and you're not going to do much with a rifle. However, with an op, you can do about 70 and then an auto sniper is about 40. And it works the opposite way as well. The T's can spam you through this as well. Exit is anchoring the A site, and he is going to throw a underhand smoke as a defensive smoke when ATK attack the A site. Hopefully it's going to buy him some time, give him the smoke to work around. However, ATK wrap and kill him. From the 3 matches I've watched so far, the site angle that Exit's playing is the most commonly played for A anchors. MOTM is playing site behind his pillar, makes contact, throws a defensive smoke to his right, and then flashes, and then peeks towards his right around the smoke, gets 1 frag before being traded. So you can see the common play so far is to throw the defensive smoke, flash, and then peek after the flash. If the T's are executing A and you're towards camera or towards hell, you could throw this smoke towards this platform here. It's going to give you some space to work with. This smoke reminds me of the Dust 2 Gandalf smoke, where CTs would throw to give them space as they can test the A ramp. There's not a lot of positions you can play in A site when the T's execute, so I definitely see this smoke coming into play here in the future from the pros. I've worked super hard these past 2 to 3 weeks with Anubis coming out, making all these Anubis videos and content, so I greatly appreciate if you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate all your support. Until next time, Nard out here, peace.